you made a video on your YouTube channel just talking a little bit about how it's made. I think you laser cut pieces, wood pieces, and then you pour a mixture inside it. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How do you achieve all the different colors?
Oh yeah, so the colors are all natural. Actually, I use microalgae, not to be confused with seaweed. I use spirulina. So a lot of people use spirulina as like a health extract, but it's got this like crazy vivid green color. And you can also extract a blue pigment from it as well, by mixing it with some different reactors and stuff. Spirulina is a group of microalgae known as cyanobacteria. So blue-green cyanobacteria. So it's got blue and green in it. So I use that as a dye for the bioplastic. And what I do is I just dissolve it in some water and add actually a bit of sugar as well to it, because the spirulina has some proteins and stuff in it that will actually destabilize the bioplastic. So adding that like little teaspoon of sugar to the mix is actually really essential to make it stable.
And that's just something you figured out on your own?
That's something that I figured out by talking to other people who work with this. So there's like a big community of biodesigners, and there are some people who share information open source. And I try to be one of those people as well. And we share tips and tricks like that for people who are experimenting at home.
That's very tricky because you're putting so much time and effort into making these. And then you kind of have to figure out that fine line between holding back your knowledge and also sharing it with everyone else.
Yeah, and it really is a fine line. But what I try to do is, if it's something that has historical precedent, or it's something that other people could actually find on the internet and just maybe don't see it all in one place, that's the stuff I feel pretty comfortable sharing. I do have stuff that's a little bit more IP, a little bit more protected. But honestly, I didn't really consider that until I would say a year ago, when I realized I started running into plagiarism issues.
Wow.
Sometimes I had some instances where I was literally staring at my own words and my own research back in my face, literally either paraphrased or copied directly. And what was worse is most of the time it was misapplied. So people like talking about seaweed insulation and drawing kelp.
Oh, yeah.
And me going, no, this is probably gonna rot. Like, please, like seagrass only. I know my big problem was when my research kind of went viral, I was referring to it as seaweed because that's the historical term for seagrass. It was lumped in with seaweed. And when you translate a lot of these like seaweed dikes, seaweed houses, it is the word seaweed, but they're referring to seagrass and the specific species of seagrass. And I wasn't clear enough about that. So then the misinformation grew and grew and grew. And I'm like, now seeing my work not just plagiarized, but then applied incorrectly. And, if construction too, it's even worse, because it's like, I don't want to be the reason that somebody gets injured or hurt because they're trying it in experimental construction. And like, all of a sudden there's black mold in a house somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I take that responsibility pretty seriously. So also too, that's why I try to share, but also, be aware of how I'm sharing and what I'm sharing.